What made your dad suddenly stop caring about you? My dad was the kind of dad who wore my terrible friendship bracelets to his business meetings. We went camping every month and worked on his old Mustang every Sunday. He always knew exactly what to say when life got hard, but then something happened and suddenly, my dad was a complete stranger living in our house. Out of nowhere, he stopped coming to my games, even when we were going to the playoffs. When I asked why, he just stared at his laptop and said he had work to do. He started locking himself in his home office the second he got back from his job at the accounting firm and wouldn't come out even when Mom knocked to say dinner was ready. He installed 3 new locks on the office door, which seemed insane for a room that just had tax documents and spreadsheets. When I tried to show him my report card with straight A's, he barely glanced at it before walking away without saying anything. The camping trip we'd planned for months suddenly got canceled because he said he needed to stay home. He stopped making eye contact and started flinching when Mom touched his shoulder. He started sleeping on the couch instead of in their bedroom. His boss called the house asking if everything was okay because Dad had been making weird mistakes at work and forgetting important meetings. I noticed he started paying cash for everything instead of using his credit cards, and he bought a new phone that he kept hidden in his jacket pocket. He would drive somewhere every night after he thought we were asleep, and his car would be gone for exactly 45 minutes. He'd come back looking more terrified than when he left. He removed all our family photos from his wallet and his desk at work, according to his secretary who called Mom to ask if they were getting divorced. When I asked him to help with my science project about hereditary traits, he turned white and said he couldn't help me with anything anymore before locking himself back in his office. Mom tried to talk to him about what was happening, but he told her she needed to stop asking questions for her own good, which made her cry for the first time I'd ever seen. He started getting phone calls that made him go completely silent, and he'd just listen without saying a word before hanging up and staring at nothing for hours. He withdrew $20,000 from their savings account, and when Mom confronted him about it, he said it was already gone and there would be more coming out soon. He stopped eating dinner with us and would only grab food when nobody else was in the kitchen, like he was avoiding being near us. The weird part was, he kept buying me things like expensive baseball equipment and a new bike and gaming system, but he'd leave them outside my door without a note. He started writing letters and sealing them in envelopes with our names on them, but keeping them locked in a safe he'd installed in the office closet. He changed all his passwords and removed Mom from their joint bank accounts, saying it was for protection, but wouldn't explain protection from what. When my birthday came, he didn't even acknowledge it until midnight when he left a card under my door that just said, "I'm sorry for everything that's about to happen." I started following him on those 45-minute drives and discovered he was going to the same abandoned warehouse on the edge of town. He would sit in his car staring at the building for exactly 10 minutes, then drive around the block 3 times before coming home. One night I saw another car there, and Dad got out and handed someone a thick envelope before driving away faster than I'd ever seen him drive. He made me memorize phone numbers of people I'd never heard of and told me if anything happened I should call them, but never from our home phone. He taught me codes for different situations, like if I ever heard him say the word lighthouse, it meant I needed to leave immediately and go to my uncle's house no matter what. He gave me his father's watch and told me to keep it safe because someday I'd understand why it mattered more than anything else we owned. Then he started getting nosebleeds every day and losing weight even though he was eating normally, and Mom wanted him to see a doctor but he refused. He would write in a journal, then burn the pages immediately after finishing them, and the smoke made the whole house smell. He stopped going to work entirely, and his company called to say he was fired, but he didn't seem to care at all. He pulled me aside and said he needed to tell me something important about who he really was and why everything was falling apart. But before he could explain anything, there was a knock at the door, and when Dad looked through the peephole, his face went completely white. He grabbed me by the shoulders and whispered, "Remember everything I taught you because they're here for both of us now." Full story on the channel below.